Um, the ways in which my music video follows the forms and conventions can be understood through one of Andrew Goodman's theories, which is on the song and the visuals. So each music video is defined by the theory by these three groups. The first being illustrate. And so illustrative videos seek to take the lyrics for what they are, and this is apparent through the visuals, and display kind of the same thing. With videos that amplify, they seek to enforce the action, and this is shown through the visuals of the narrative and or the performance. Finally, there's disjuncture, and disjuncture seems to disregard the lyrics or take the lyrics in a new direction, so reinterpret it into something different. So by understanding this theory, I would say that my music video is defined by the group disjuncture. The reason for this is because for a large extent of the music video I explore a range of possibilities that don't take the literal meaning of the lyrics. So the way I show this sense of disjuncture in my music video is by the moment when the lead singer says or sings fucking analyst. The way I showed this or interpret this visually is by the hands reaching out at the girl. The hands are a symbol of the analyst, and they're about to rip at her humanity. Another moment is when the lead sings. I took this as a narrative motive for when the girl would be escaping the dark world. The reason why I did this was because in the lyrics it says the word fly, and everyone takes the word fly as a symbol of freedom, so it made sense for me for her to be escaping at the moment of that word, fly. However, I do illustrate in my music video to an extent. The way I've done this is when the words what I show visually is a close-up of the lead singer, but closely after it shows a two-shot low angle of the actor and actress. The actress is lying in the actor's laps, and the actor is looking down at the girl in sadness. This corresponds with the lyrics, which means that it will stay in the viewer's mind more, as they're given two pieces of the same information, both visually and through sound. Another of Goodwin's theories is that music videos don't have the complete story. Goodwin explains that music videos should ignore common structure. It is important in their role of advertising. I have clearly taken this theory as my music video has a non-linear, surrealist narrative, which leaves the viewer confused to the extent that they might watch the video again, Another example of disjuncture is apparent when the words leaving the station are sung in the music video. I don't hold any great importance to the words, but where I do hold importance is where I can show scenes of love, and an example of this is when the words the way I show this for the first time is through a two-shot mid-shot, and the actor and the actress's arms are locked together, and the two-shot would represent the I'm not lonely, and the way I show the for so many years is by panning it on the spot so it's turning, and there's a gradual transition of fade to black. This kind of shows the slow movement of time. Where I've shown a sense of amplification is when the sound of the drums are played, and visually I would show the drum actually playing, and this shows a sense of seeing the action. However, I took the same sound of the drums and used it as a narrative tool for the moment when the actor would fall and hit the ground. And this really sticks in the viewer's mind, as it takes the same concept of seeing the sound, and this is really common in cartoons. And so it gives a greater sense of impact on the viewer visually. In the music you'll hear the sound of xylophones. I didn't really see a need for having another band member, so what I did was use the sound as a suggestion for the narrative sequences. When looking at the relationship between the music and the editing, it's really shown at its best when it's at this hugging moment. And what I did was, the drumming was really fast paced, so what I did was, for each shot variation of the hug, I would sync it with the beat, and this really paced up that moment. Another way of how I've used the music and the editing, but in more of a strange way, is when it shows the what I call the creature, and the editing doesn't really sync with the music, but it's like it replicates the kind of strangeness of the creature as well. So it's more linked with the character and the visuals. I think the momentous bit for me in this music video was when it's near the end of the video, and the guitar's strummed, and it kind of leaves this echo. So I thought, a symbol of an echo is an effect. So what I thought was, what was the effect of the journey of the narrative? So what I displayed was the coming together of the two characters. It was a close-up of their hands held together walking towards the light, and I felt what was interesting was I came to that conclusion because it was influenced through the sound rather than the lyrics. Moving away from the song and the visuals, the genre is obviously indie rock, and what initially came to mind at the start was urban backgrounds or settings. The camera work would be handheld, so it'd be rough to an extent, and this would give a great sense of power and movement during the performance. The music was slow paced for its genre, so I had to slow down the editing to resonate. Looking at the mise-en-scene aspects of the music video, firstly the clothing. The clothing that the band members wear is very casual, which links with the urbanism look of the genre. For the lighting, there's a use of low-key to high-key to show that variation. Also, chiaroscuro lighting is used, as it looks visually interesting. What inspired me to use these types of lighting was by looking at Battle's music video called Tendency, which used spotlights to create this kind of scene, and in that scene it had like a sense of atmosphere. So I wanted to kind of take that and put that into my music video. The next subject would be the facial expression. The facial expression that the lead singer has is very confident, and this is portrayed through his direct mode of address, the viewer, which engages them immediately. His confidence is also apparent through his body language, as this is shown by the way he holds the mic. Looking at the other band members, they seem more serious and more focused on their task. Looking at the narrative and the way I used colour for it, For the dark mode moments, I used this, I overlaid it with this yellow colour. The reason for this was because it's a reference to the film The Fountain, the more surreal scenes, which in the film they used a high level brightness with this yellow ochre colour, and it kind of showed this kind of other world, and I wanted to take that element and place it into my music video. However, because the kind of the palettes, because it was so dark and he used those darker levels of tones, it made it look, it basically made it like a darker version of that image in the fountain. Another aspect where I played with colour was when the conflict had started, and I would gradually take saturation from the shots. The reason why I did this was because I wanted to symbolise the loss of joy from life and how it was becoming dull. For the recording for the music video, I had access to equipment that I thought would surpass the rough and gritty look of a typical indie rock music video, so I thought I would go for a more semi-professional standard music video. So what I did was looked at the Battle Tendency music video again as inspiration and later as reference, as there wasn't much handheld shots, and I still tried to refer to the core indie rock theme, so there are handheld shots which capture the flow and the movement. Furthermore, I still tried to keep the attitude of in indie rock music videos through the performers and the clothing, and the relationship between the creature and the girl is kind of like say Dracula going for the girl. So it could be said that there is a kind of fairy tale basis for this, for the narrative at least, because at the end the actor comes in with the light and helps her to escape from that world. I think the shots which have the most impact or meaning would be, one of them would be the shot, the two shot, because it's like a universal language between all medias, as it shows a close relationship and intimacy. Another shot that I think was has impact was the low angle of when the actress was on the ground, and it shows her in this vulnerable position. Furthermore, the abstract shots of the creature, as it kind of enforces that the strangeness of the creature, and kind of says that he moves in like surreal ways. Finally, the handheld shots really help to create that sense of movement and power, and it kind of links with the indie rock element of it too, of the genre. The obvious link that I have between the digipack and the music video is that the name of the album is displayed on the lead singer's t-shirt, and this creates awareness for the album, and furthermore it creates a visual pleasure for the viewer that has the existing knowledge of the album. For the digipack, I wanted to stay within the conventions of the genre, therefore I looked at other indie rock digipacks to help influence my decisions. An example that I looked at was 20-Minute Loop's CD cover. I found this CD cover to look very chaotic and visually interesting, because of the different elements and colours used in it. In contrast, there was this very simple design for a CD cover, which was the black keys, Your Touch, the EP, and on it was just a bird, and a lot of blue was used in it, but it kind of reflects that minimalism theme. From looking at these two CD covers, I realised that there was great sense of surrealism and mystery. Mystery in the sense that we wouldn't know exactly what the theme of the music was by looking at these pieces of work. So it made sense, as the band wouldn't be well known, so there wouldn't be much point of giving an image of that band. So the more surreal the artwork would be, the more likely it would catch a consumer's eye in a store. So I took this information and reflected it into my own product, and I put my own image of surrealism into it. The main subject of the CD cover is this half-naked man, and it's displayed through a mid-shot. The man's head is a sphere, and his posture is as if he's about to take flight. The reason why I did this was because it linked with the title of the album, Don't Care, and by him in this position of taking flight, it kind of says that he doesn't feel restricted to the conventions of gravity. In the middle ground we see this white circle, which is supposed to represent the moon, and what this does, it pushes maybe a different interpretation, that maybe he's weightless because he doesn't feel the weight of the stress of caring about other people. Furthermore, the entire shot kind of links visually with the scene in the music video when the actor is standing in front of the light. For the background of the image, I use this forest, which also has this bridge, which does a one-point perspective, so it really draws the viewer's eye into the image. It also gives the whole album a texture. Furthermore, it links with the whole narrative of the music video, the narrative feel of being lost. By having the image of the naked male human body, it gives the band members an image of being bold, confident and strong. Ha! The font that I used for the rest of the digipack was Times New Roman numeral. The reason why I chose it because it looked quite stylized and it fit well with the font of the title that I used. For the booklet cover of the CD, I placed the image of the band. The reason why I did this because I wanted the consumer to still remember who made the music, and that's why I placed them in the booklet. I used the same font as I did for the digipack for the advert to enforce the iconicness of the title for the band. Looking at the design elements of the advert, I still retain the dark element from the music video, as you can see that going towards the edge of the advert poster, you can see that it gets gradually darker. The background itself has texture, unsaturated tones and this umbrella-like design. The reason why I chose this umbrella-like design was because that when the lines would get thinner towards the vanishing point, this would be where the viewer would be drawn to. But what I did was I covered it, so the viewer would gradually get drawn to the poster itself, really. The colours used in the background is red and blue, and they really contrast each other well, so this would further catch the viewer's attention. In the middle ground is the bass player and the drummer. The reason why I placed them in the poster was because I wanted to show the image of the whole band rather than through just the lead singer. Speaking of the lead singer, he is placed in the foreground in a profile shot, holding an electric guitar. The lead singer image is enlarged so that the viewer's eye is drawn to him. The reason why I did this was because for a new indie band, it's common to really the reason why I give the lead singer quite a lot of importance is because that with a new indie band, viewers will only really remember the lead singer. On the top layer we have the information about the release date of the album, where they can get it from, and different forms of contact with the band via Twitter, Facebook and their website. Above all the images and the background is the release date of the album, where they can get it, and different forms of contact via Twitter, Facebook and their website. Looking at the representation of the band, their facial expressions are quite serious, and this suggests that they're very attuned with what they do.
I might get the bit about the guy in the mask and the person dying.
The monster has abducted her, obviously, and like turned her into a vampire.
And these hands. What's in the hands? Is it a nightmare?
Demonic thing, I think.
Yeah, who's this guy? What's he doing there?
Is that you?
That's me.
Well, who's he meant to be? Is he meant to be a nightmare?
He's like an evil spirit or something. I don't know, but he's abducting her.
Did you understand the narrative?
Sort of.
Can you tell me what you understood about it and what you didn't?
It's a guy and a girl, they're fighting. And then they break up, I believe. And then she has some kind of nightmare or whatever she does. And then she dies. And then he's begging her to wake up like Sleeping Beauty. And then she wakes up. And like, yay, they're back together again.
And then they hold hands like...
What I don't get is the person in the mask and the people with the hands and that bit.
It's a demon thing, man, I told you.
But he's gonna lie.
I don't know why that's a bad idea.
I don't get it in this sense. I don't get it.
Okay.
That's it.
So, what did you think about the camera shots?
I think that different angles was like very good, and I think you could have got like more different angles.
No,
basically, there were different shots for everyone.
Like different shots for every
close up for Adib and a close up for
the whole band.
Vlad. But except for Harry, where he was standing there and that's it in the background.
Okay. What did you think was good about the camera work? Did you see anything good?
You're gonna cut that part, yeah.
Basically, there was like like you know when you record, yeah, there's movements that it shakes and stuff like that.
There was no shaking.
Yeah, there's no shaking.
It was steady.
It was steady, like it was like professional.
Wow.
Oh.
They have like...
And it was high quality as well.
Should do is when Vlad is singing onto the mic, like should move the camera from one angle to another angle like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did you think about the editing, Raisa?
I liked the editing. I thought it flowed really nicely. Sometimes not so much. Again, switching back to Vlad's face a lot. It was kind of dragged out a little bit.
Oh, but the reason why we did that is to sell the artist more.
Okay, that's fine. Then I have nothing to say. Yeah, I thought it flowed really nicely. I liked you edited it well. Yeah.
I've seen the video for Jay Sean Down. How there's like blue flying effects and stuff. Should I did something like that. When there were like hands, when Agatha was in the bed and there was like hands, there should have been something like fires coming out or something. I don't know what it was.
Would you watch the video again?
We did.
Yeah, we did it. I watched it twice already. I think I'll watch it again, yeah.
How come? For what reason?
Just to try and understand the video more.
Exactly.
Yeah, just to watch it all.
What did you like about the music video?
The storyline.
Yes.
The storyline was really good. I liked that a lot, and it made me understand the song even more.
What did you dislike about the music video?
When the focus wasn't on the storyline, because I liked the storyline. The storyline was the best part. Garter and when at the beginning you have shots of just their faces and they're saying something. I'm assuming they're talking about how much they love each other, but I'm not sure. So I think it's the ambiguity of it, like not completely understanding it, is what I dislike.
How would you improve the music video?
When recording the video, it was filmed in a dark area. I don't know where the setting was. I'm thinking it was in a house or a basement or something. You should film in different areas, or I film it outside. And another improvement could be is to get for Harry, get more shots for him, because there's only one shot where he's behind Vlad. That's the only time I see him. So like add some close shots.
So, in 2 words, how would you describe this music video?
Relatable and sad.
Meaningful. Yes, meaningful.
Mysterious and demonic.
Drama and what else? And funny.
What was the most prominent emotion that you got from the music video?
Loss, because they break up, so he loses his love, and then she dies, so she loses her life. But then,
I think it's love, because they loved each other and then she died, and then Vlad sang to her, and then with the power of love she came.
Leaving the station.